Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we're looking at Medium, an article by Stephen Bell. This is something to take a look at. Lead pipes threaten the drinking water of millions of city residents. So you might be thinking, well, I think lead's quite rare. A lot of it's being replaced. People are taking efforts to go ahead and remove those pipes. And that is true that a lot of officials are taking the time to remove lead pipes, and that's where a lot of lead exposure comes from. But it's still a big issue. Why is that? Approximately 40% of the pipes servicing buildings in New York City are made of lead. That's a huge amount. And actually you can find a link to a map displaying that with buildings that have lots of pipes. So we can go down here and say, wow, there's quite a lot of pipes here that are causing an issue. So what's going on here in New York? So he's taking a look at his work as an environmental scientist. He's called and tasked with testing tap water for lead, usually at daycare facilities or schools, and he discovered elevated lead levels in water samples collected from brand new buildings. And this is somewhat surprising since a building constructed after 1986, when lead pipes, solder, and plumbing fixtures were banned, shouldn't have such pipes. So that's another issue that needs to be addressed. A lot of people will say, well, there's a lot of new buildings after 1986. It shouldn't be the case that you'd find lead anywhere. Correct, because all these buildings are new, and through the Clean Water Drinking Act, the Safe Water Drinking Act, you're not supposed to construct any pipes with lead. But that's not necessarily the case that lead isn't in the water. See, after getting such a report, they tried to pinpoint what's the source. If it's not the building's pipes, then what is it? After eliminating other potential sources, we'd usually find the same culprit, a lead service line. So there are still lead service lines, and that's the issue. The pipes may not be lead, but the service lines are. And what are service lines? They're the small pipes that connect a building to the water mains. And through the late 19th to mid 20th century, these pipes were usually made of lead. In many cities, Flint, Michigan, New York, New Jersey, notably have had major public health emergencies stemming from lead service lines, but there has been comparatively little coverage of the issue in New York City. So we're bringing this issue out. And he's wondering, where are all these lead pipes, and how can I determine if my building has one? Well, he did a search for lead to find some pretty shocking results. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection recently published data on the location of lead service lines that the data set is based both on historical records and observations collected by plumbers, contractors, and city workers during the construction activities and excavations. The records are largely incomplete, with many pipes listed as unknown or NA. And that, based on that, he created a color-coded map, and he found that approximately 40% of buildings have lots of lead service lines. And he also goes into the history of it and a lack of action that's been done by government. So with this article and this knowledge, you still could have lead service lines coming to your business, to your school, to wherever it is. Even though a building may have been constructed after 1986, this is still a huge issue. And another big issue is that a lot of people aren't aware of this, and maybe government officials aren't even aware of it either. So for that reason, to keep you safe, it's always a good idea to periodically test your water for any levels of lead.